Mondays. It's Monday, but it's okay. Now let's go to the show.
It's Monday.
Oh, I had two sauces. I thought I only had one. I would have used one sauce for the fry, one sauce for the nugget. But I got two now, so I got to use 2 nuggets per sauce.
2 nuggets per sauce. That's outrageous. But it's all right. Great start to the podcast. Nathan's eating McDonald's. I'm drinking
This is my
milk.
first meal of the day. It's almost 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
I've drank beverages. I
drinking.
root beer looks so good at work.
Why do you have a root beer and then I'm guessing that's
I got this
Coke.
at work.
Okay.
Diet Coke, 0 calorie. But yeah,
Good stuff.
first meal. I'm down. I was down to 213 this morning.
Really?
Yep.
And what's your goal weight?
Like 190, 195 probably.
Isn't it so interesting how like we're brothers, we came from the same seed?
Mother.
And mother, yeah.
Seed? Why you say it like that?
That's how they say it, like biblically. I didn't mean it weirdly. I meant it like biblically, you know. But like my goal weight is 260. Like if I'm 260, I'm looking good. No, I'm like 50, 60 pounds away from that right now. But we're chilling. We're on our weight loss gain. Weight loss gain? That's not proper. You know what I mean?
Weight loss journey.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like our body types is completely different. Our pigment is the same. You know, we're both black, but like, you know what I mean? It's just little differences.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Anthony and
Our brother.
our brother Anthony and our brother Eric, we're all pretty different. Me and Eric are very similar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if me and Eric were the same weight, we'd look exactly the same. Because I'm pretty sure I'm maybe like a half inch taller than him.
Yeah.
But
Your faces are a lot different though.
I think his nose is just bigger than mine.
Yeah, that might be it. No, your nose is 50% of your looks, dude. That's why I am always saying, okay, and we're going to get a little controversial right off the bat here, okay? I am extremely anti-body... No. Okay, I'm extremely anti-body modifications, okay?
Uh-huh.
So, like, yeah, you know, a nose ring sometimes looks attractive on a woman, but, like, no thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like fake breastises, right? Or like getting your skin tightened when you're older, you know, stuff like that. Not a fan of. I think you should, how you were born, that's how you should rock with it. You know what I mean? And you should be preserving your body. I mean, I know I'm a fat guy, so I can't really talk about preserving your body. But you know
We're
what I
working
mean?
on it.
Exactly. But like you should like preserve your body, you know, as best as you possibly can to make yourself look as good as you can. Because aging gracefully, like, okay, again, this is gonna sound weird, but like old women that like took care of themselves, you know what I mean? And you could tell they were like beautiful at a young age, you know what I mean?
Gilfs.
I mean, I was trying to be a little more wholesome,
Oh, my bad.
but you know what I mean? Like, I see that and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know,
Delicious.
that's the type of woman I want. You know what I mean? Not like I don't want an older woman. I mean, it depends, you know, but like,
I hear
does
you.
that make sense?
You know, I agree. I think, I mean, I do like breast modifications,
I don't like.
but I don't like it. Like, I think everybody should just live the way that they were born, unless you have a serious issue. Like, bro, if you got a nose like Gru, or if you got like
That was my freaking point. Okay,
you can get that done.
but that was my point. Okay, I was gonna say I'm anti-body modifications, except for nose jobs, because I've seen some women, right, who got all that, but then you look at their nose and you're like, what is happening right now? You know what I mean?
They can smell all the way to China.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Or they'll have like a big wart on their face or something. You know what I mean?
People, you got it. Or a mole. Moles are normal when they're like freckles.
Yeah.
But when you got a big ass black mole on your face, you gotta get that
Watch
removed.
the language next time, but okay.
What did I say?
You said big ass. But you said it so naturally, so I wasn't going to say anything. But
My bad.
it was just smooth with it, though.
I'm good at cussing.
You do it often.
I'm good at cussing.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just shave that down a little bit. You know, but that's the only body modification I'm okay with. You know what I mean?
Personally,
Or like if you're paralyzed, you know, stick. Why don't people just like stick a metal rod in their spine so they can stand up if they're paralyzed?
I mean, it all depends on.
You ever think about that?
It all depends on, like, how your body's gonna react to it.
Think about this, okay? Okay, think about this, right?
Okay.
If you had a metal rod in your spine to keep you sitting straight up, you wouldn't be able to sit like this, right? But you'd be able to stand up, right? So you just be like this, right? This is still decently comfortable. You know what I mean? It's like if you're trying to like, no, I can't do it.
You can't just stick a bar into someone's spine. They wouldn't be able to.
I was trying to lead it into a joke, but then I forgot the joke halfway through it. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you.
Okay. But let me get back to the noses.
Okay.
I like big noses. Okay, here's the thing, bro. I'm weird. I like unique looking women. Like,
yes.
Like, bro, like, no.
We talked about this earlier.
We're not on the same page, I promise.
Okay, what kind of weird woman are you talking about?
Like, bro. And I mean no disrespect when I'm talking about this either, because I genuinely find this girl attractive. But at work, bro, at the Walmart in Tooele, she's never going to see this. It doesn't really matter.
That's so funny.
I'm going to hit her up eventually.
That's so funny.
But she
Tooele, Utah.
She low-key got a hunchback. She kind of stands like this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm attracted to her.
Bad posturized.
Yeah, she like in 60 years, she going to look weird. But I'm attracted to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, like, I like girls with big noses. I like big noses. I don't know why, but I do.
You're so freaking weird.
I do, bro. When I see a big nose, I'm like, it gets me going.
Okay, now let's see. I think you're getting a little too extra today. I think.
What do you mean? I'm being real right now. I'm not even kidding, bro.
Big
if
noses?
you got 3 inches on your face, hit me up.
That's a lot.
It's huge.
But
no, I'm being for real though.
I like unique looking women also. I like, well, just for the fact that like
Want this?
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna eat it later.
Just for the fact that like you can call them yours. You know what I mean? Like we live in the land of Utah, right? The land of like the generic looking white woman, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to start a relationship with one of them generics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then because there's nothing unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's like dating another Mr. Beast clone. You know what I mean?
What?
Like even if they Mr. Beast, you don't want to be dating them because there's a million of them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You want more unique YouTubers like Nathan Zeds. Shout out my favorite YouTuber. You know, he's unique. You know, he's got his own flavor, got his own style. That's the type of woman you want. A woman that's got her own flavor. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like how Dr. Pepper doesn't have an official flavor. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what the flavor of Dr. Pepper
just Dr.
is.
Pepper.
But guess what? It's the second most popular beverage other than Coke, and Coke is trash. Just like
Pepsi's
basic
better.
white women are trash.
Pepsi's better.
But I love me a redheaded girl who's pasty. So if you live in Utah and
In
you're
the-
a redhead
the
and you
Valley area.
pasty and you like to like
Lake
play like
City.
volleyball or tennis, bro, you play tennis?
With a big old booty.
Proportionate. Proportionate.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm done with that conversation. I got nothing else to say.
Oh, dude, I had such a great transition, like midway through that conversation, but then it just kept going, and I forgot. Sorry for not uploading a podcast in 2 weeks, guys. I was sick, and then it was Memorial Day,
We went out of town.
so
We were gonna record a podcast with our brother, but we forgot our mics and stuff.
yeah, we were gonna record a car podcast. Forgot to do that, and then the same trip we didn't bring our microphones. So
We're pretty forgetful.
yeah, it's all right though. Okay.
Are you going first or I'm going first?
So I was actually I wanted to open up the podcast in like a fun way, you know? And so I was going to talk about master bedrooms, right? You live in the master bedroom, right? Because you're in like the bigger bedroom, right? In this apartment,
See?
right? Why is it called master bedroom?
I got an idea. I think I know why.
You be stuttering today a lot.
I think I know why.
What? And don't sugarcoat it.
So I just kidding. I actually don't know. I was just thinking like
Slaves.
That's what I was thinking. You know, master.
Exactly. I heard like 2 years ago on a YouTube video. That's where it came from. So I just remembered that at work, and I'm like, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you got more melanin in you, which is BS. So you're more black, but then you're in the master bedroom.
Yeah,
This
I'm
messed
the
up.
master.
No,
Roles reversed. 21st century.
it's actually 2025.
That's the year.
Century.
Not the century.
That's the century.
No, a century is 100 years.
Bro, you think dinosaurs actually existed, or do you think they were just dragons?
Both.
So like flightless dragons.
What do you think a chicken is?
A chicken's a chicken.
A chicken is a flightless dragon. You ever seen one?
I've killed multiple.
What?
I've literally stuffed them in a funnel, slit their throat, let them seize out and bleed out, and then you freaking take them out. You defeather those. Oh, it's actually so easy to kill a chicken, okay? Or to gut a chicken. No, literally, you slit the throat, you put it in this little thing with a bunch of nipples that shoot water out, and then rotates, and then defeathers it, right? And then you like stick it in a bucket of cold water. I don't know if that's important, but that's what we did because we were doing a lot of chickens. And then you pull them out, slay them on a table. You cut their feet off, you know, because you can't really eat their feet unless you're Hispanic. And then you
Asian.
True. Or you cut their head off. Stuff that you don't see in a rotisserie chicken type stuff, you know. And then their pooper is like connected to their tail, so it's like the shape of a triangle, and you literally just like cut a triangle from their tail, and then their pooper and their tail is like gone, right? And their pooper is like gross, because it's like rocks. It's like green and it's rocks, and it smells disgusting.
Okay.
You know, chicken don't have teeth either. They have a sac in the side of their throat right here that they put food in, and they eat rocks, and they keep rocks in their sac, and that's how they break their food down, is by just like grungling it with rocks, and then they regurgitate it and eat it. But then they keep the rocks down there. That's weird, huh? But yeah, and then once you have the gut,
Chickens do that?
yeah. But then once you have the like the tail off, then you go in there. It's not the anus because you cut the anus off, you know. But there's just a hole. You go in, and there's just like a tiny like bit right here, and you kind of unhook that, you know, and then everything comes out in a sack.
There's a carabiner inside of them?
Pretty much a carabiner.
You just...
Yeah, and then it's gutted completely, and then you could literally throw it in the oven and cook it.
That's weird.
It's so easy.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah, mugger bear.
Pretty gross.
I think Doja Cat's hot.
I don't...
Other than all like the demonic stuff, you know, and her like when you like shave your eyebrows, you know.
Yeah. You like... Never mind.
But I don't know, like that type of like her, like SZA, Coco Jones. I think they're attractive.
Really?
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o. If you're watching this, Lupita Nyong'o, bro, you're so hot.
She the one from Catch Me the Hitman?
Hitman?
Yeah.
Oh no. She's the Black Panther's girlfriend. She was also in the Jordan Peele movie Us.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, she's hot. But yeah, you got anything you want to talk about this podcast? Because I got like 12,000 things, so we could talk about.
I got a game.
Okay, hit me with a game.
All right, we talked about this the other day. I'm gonna say a line from a movie, and you gotta tell me what movie it's from. Okay.
I like it a lot.
I only got 3, so get them right.
You only have 3. You've had 2 weeks, and you've only got 3. That's awesome. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
This is a TV show.
You don't have to give me hints. Just tell.
Because it's not a movie though. It's a TV show.
It's fine. Have I seen it? I guarantee I haven't seen it.
No, you've seen it. I'm trying to remember exactly how it goes. All right. Why would I pay somebody to bag the groceries when I can bag them my damn self?
That's not Everybody Hates Chris, is it?
It is, bro. What the
is that Julius?
No, it's not Julius.
Who is that?
It's when Chris
is that Rochelle?
No, it's when Chris was looking for a job. It was just a random guy that owned a grocery store.
Oh, he's just a random dude?
Yeah.
that just felt very black. You know what I mean?
Freak, bro. All right.
You really thought you were gonna stump me with that, Nathan?
I did. I didn't think you were gonna get that one.
Come on.
All right. This one's gonna be hopefully a little harder.
Okay.
6 inches.
Elf.
Bro, what the heck?
Dude. That was the. I constantly quote that every Christmas season,
6
bro.
inches.
Yeah, come on. That's the fat black fellow.
All right, these are going to be too easy.
Just give me the last one.
You're going to get this one.
Just
All
give
right.
me the last one.
Wait, let me see. I think
This is a fun segment, though.
I am your grandfather.
The Master of Disguise?
Yeah.
That
Bro.
was a good one, though.
I am your grandfather.
That
Dang, I need to get better ones.
was a good one, dude. Well, it's also difficult because we've lived with each other most of our lives.
Yeah,
so we've seen the
yeah.
same movies. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
That's true.
you'd have to like pick a movie we've only seen like once. You know what I mean? So I'd have to like dig deep. You know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some on the spot, but I can't think of any.
Yeah, that's all good. So that's the only thing you've had prepared for this podcast?
I mean, I got other things we could talk about, but
Yeah, that's all good. We can talk about whatever. We talked about my master bedroom thing. Okay, you want to get deep with it real quick? What is your greatest accomplishment?
Wow, that makes me realize I haven't accomplished much.
Yeah, I
In
was
my
literally, I was at work today and I was thinking to myself, and I just had the random thought like, what is your greatest accomplishment? And I was like, didn't go to college for football. We'll blame that on injury, you know. I'm broke. I work a 9-to-5 job. Don't have a girlfriend. Dropped out of college, but I'm back. So yeah, I just look back and I'm like, not a lot of accomplishments. Literally, I remember for years it was always like Super Bowl, Little League. You know what I mean? That was like one of my greatest accomplishments.
Yeah.
I would probably say completing a mission, but honestly, like, I don't think of it as like an accomplishment. I think of it as more of like something I had to do. Like, I loved to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to me, it was never like a...
Something we should be doing every day anyway.
Yeah.
Bringing
much.
people onto Christ, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I was going to say the same thing because, I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, I'm living a pretty basic life. Like, I haven't really done anything substantial. I think, honestly, my greatest accomplishment so far is just my mission for 2 years, you know, helped people come to God.
Yeah.
Also helped me build a relationship with God, and then just how I treat people, you know, with kindness and love. Try not to judge too harshly.
Yeah.
I think that would have to be mine.
Yeah, I feel like just baptizing somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there was no greater feeling I've ever had in my life than, like, the spiritual highs I got on my mission. You know what I mean? From, like, this or that or the other, which I'm not going to talk about on a podcast because it's more sacred, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe eventually I'll talk about it if, like, a spirit is telling me I need to talk about it or whatever, but not going to talk about them right now. But I would say that's probably, I'd say, my greatest accomplishment, but it's kind of difficult, you know, because when you think of accomplishments, you think, oh, it's more of like a money thing or it's like a position in life type of thing, you know. But like, I mean, I would say a good accomplishment for me is I've never smoked weed. I've never drank alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, yeah. But also, I don't think of it that much because like no one ever asked me in high school, yeah, you want to smoke some weed? The only time that happened like once was like somebody was like, Craig, you would be awesome to smoke weed with. One of the, you know, just like in the foot, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pass on that. And then when I was working at Papa Murphy's, and we had that one coworker that was like a big pot smoker, you know. And I was curious because I never know. I didn't, you know, we grew up religious. I didn't grow up around that type of environment, you know. And so I like just randomly asked the dude, just out of a curiosity, like, hey, just like curious, like. How do you get weed? Because we were in Wyoming, it's illegal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, you want some weed? I was like,
He can hook you
I
up.
was like, wait, whoa! Is that easy? You just got to hook up? I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that easy. There's a lot of crap about the world that like I'm very naive to, but I'm grateful for it. You know.
Yeah.
But
That's what's up.
yeah, totally.
But yeah, I mean, I guess in the future, my biggest accomplishment is for sure going to be raising a family
Yeah.
and, hopefully starting a business that can support them however is needed.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be my biggest accomplishment for sure.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah. Okay, it's been a while, and this conversation is overtalked about a million times, right?
Uh-huh.
But we've never talked about it because again we've been off for 2 weeks, right? 100 monkeys. No. Pause. Do not be 100 black people. Sorry, that was a joke. That was a complete joke. One gorilla, 100 dudes, right? What's your opinion on that?
Depends on the. Okay, wait. Okay, so it's just one at a time, right? One dude at a time?
100 dudes versus. So, like, you can strategize how you want to take this gorilla down.
Because, I mean, realistically, if it's 100 people that I choose versus one full-size silverback gorilla, the men are winning. Because I'm choosing.
Why not no women?
Hell.
Ronda Rousey, bro? That one chick from The Mandalorian season 1?
No.
What's another powerful woman?
None.
Yeah, you're right.
Not in that case. Not in that scenario.
No,
If it's like making the best sandwich for this gorilla.
Caitlin Clark?
No, she would die.
Yeah, she.
I like her nose, by the way. She got big. I like.
She's one of those weird things where she kind of looks like a dude, but she's also attractive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She got like masculine features. But she got that like basketball player thing where she rides her pants up really high.
Yeah. But no, because I'm choosing John Jones, freaking Rampage Jackson.
Yeah,
if they're all fighting this gorilla at the same time.
If you be throwing the whole A team in there, of course they're gonna freaking beat him, bro.
Yeah, but if
like
it's one at a time.
100 random Joe Schmoes.
Oh, like 100.
So you got like 3 crack addicts up in there, you know what I mean? You got a couple brothers, as Theo Vaughn would say. You know what I mean?
Then the gorilla's winning. If it's
No.
normal people, gorilla's winning.
I don't think so.
Because the gorilla, okay, you got to think about it. All these normal people, they're not going to know how to fight. They're not going to be strong. They're not going to be nothing. The gorilla's just going to freaking throw them off.
Okay, 100 conservatives. So like you don't have any like, it's gonna sound terrible, weak liberals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no flamboyant men. Like you're gonna have like mostly like, cause like I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm sway anyway directionally. Cause low key that's another conversation we could have.
Like you don't know if you like boys or girls yet?
No, not what I meant. I meant like politically. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like I'm anti certain things. You know.
Yeah.
But like I don't care. I hate politics. You know.
Yeah.
That's a good conversation. We might get into that a little bit later. I kind of want to talk about that.
I'm not knowledgeable enough on that stuff.
No, it has nothing to do with politics, but it has everything to do with politics. I'll tell you. We'll talk about it later. Stay tuned on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I think 100 dudes could. I think like 50 dudes could take down one silverback gorilla.
I don't think you understand. A full-size male silverback gorilla, they're huge.
Nathan, you ever seen the movie Ant-Man Quantumania?
That's a freaking superhero movie.
It's a bad one too. But like, remember when he was like on acid or whatever, and he was like getting attacked by a bunch of him. You know, he's like he could just get suffocated because he's just getting covered by him. You know, so the first 20 dudes are just straight dead, right? But like, I think like because you're not gonna punch the gorilla. You know what I mean? You have to like hold it down. So you're gonna have like 10 people on each ligament, right? And then you're gonna have 4 people attacking the eyeballs, right? Once you take the eyeballs out, you know what I mean?
He's gonna bite your hand off.
Well, then you have 10 people go like this to the jaw. You know what I mean? Just
way,
like raise
no,
the jaw.
No.
I think.
Dude, have you seen those videos where they play tug of war with these animals?
Yeah, easy. I could win.
The like bodybuilders. This is
Bodybuilders aren't strong.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
I'm remembering them doing it against a tiger, but there was like 10 bodybuilders, and the tiger was just standing there, not budging.
Bodybuilders aren't strong.
Yes, they are.
When I was a high schooler, I could literally squat double what a famous bodybuilder could squat.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. I guarantee it.
That's not
I
true.
guarantee it.
Dude, these guys do this for a living.
Their muscles are full of water. That's why their muscles are big, dude. That's all steroids is. It just puts a little hole up in there in the water. It's filled with water.
I promise you could not squat as much as Eddie Hall. I understand.
He's not a bodybuilder.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about strongmen, like real bodybuilders.
Hey, imbecile. Bodybuilders and strongmen are two complete. No, it's not.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not. A bodybuilder is some dude who's like, oh, Jess, look at me, look at my bros.
Oh, yeah, no, those guys are fake.
And Eddie Hall is a strongman. That's a strongman competition.
I'm talking about strongmen.
Okay, yeah, no.
All the strongmen.
Yeah, I was not double the strength of a strongman.
That's where we But yeah, strongmen.
I was like competitive.
Were doing that to a tiger, and the tiger was not moving.
It's a tiger though. So
Dude, the power of animals is insane.
Bro, can we just talk about how dope gorillas are? Like in the Plants vs. Zombies, not Plants vs. Zombies. What is it called?
Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes. I was close. When the gorilla shows up, bro, that's tough, bro. When he jumps and hits a helicopter.
When he's just in the cage?
Yeah, bro.
But no, dude, no. Yeah, the only way 100 men are beating that gorilla if it's 100 strong, trained men at the same time. If it's 1v1, John Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, not beating the gorilla. Because the gorilla grabs him and would snap his arm immediately.
Yeah, if it's a 1v1, you're thinking of like one person going up to the gorilla once at a time.
No, I'm thinking of the only scenario men win is if what I just said, trained, strong fighters all at the same time.
Yeah.
Only way they win.
Okay. But what if?
You hear that? There's a bunch of honking.
I don't need to put my Spider-Man suit on and go. It's not honking, bro. That's a freaking police siren.
I heard honking. That's why I said shh.
No, yeah. What if? You know what's weird? We tie a rope to a.
What's going on?
What is going on outside?
I think it's the fire truck honking at people to get out of the way.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's an ambulance.
He did. No, don't say that. Somebody probably actually died. It's probably a major accident on the road.
I see those every day.
Okay.
I saw a car literally on its side yesterday.
Yeah, I'm on my side sometimes. When I go to sleep. I'm a side sleeper. I'm like a side / little bit of belly sleeper. Okay, let's go back.
I'll never sleep in the same room as you again in my life, ever.
What?
I couldn't sleep.
Dude, I had no idea I still moaned in my sleep.
Oh, yeah, dude. You'll say random crap. And
I talk in my sleep, too?
Not anything, like, legible, but you'll be like, like speaking in tongues or something.
No, dude, like, when I'm, like, drowsy and I'm falling asleep, you know, I catch myself, like doing that. I'm I'm like halfway in a dream, and I'm literally like what I'm saying in the dream I'm saying in real life, but it's not legible. And I wake myself up like when I'm half like if I'm just chilling on the couch watching Boruto, like half asleep.
Half
chubbed. Nathan, no, stop. Stop.
Not bad.
No, but no, yeah, I remember when I was on my mission. I remember vividly when I found out that I did this. I was just chilling on the couch, right? And I was taking a nap. And I was in, there was 3 of us, right? So the 2 were like doing like studying or something, but I needed a nap. So I just took a nap on the couch there, you know? Mm-hmm. And then I woke up and they were just staring at me. And I was like, why are you guys staring at me? They're like, Craig, you were moaning for a full hour.
Gosh dang.
And I was so confused because I was like, I didn't have like a wet dream or anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just moan in my sleep now. I don't know why that happened.
That's weird.
We shared a room growing up. And I didn't do that. Like, I snored a little bit growing up, right?
Yeah, but
like nothing
not
major.
Continuously.
Yeah. But like I moan throughout the night now.
Yeah.
If that's like a health problem, you're watching this and you're a doctor, just let me know.
You for sure got sleep.
Because I am not going to the doctors.
You for sure got sleep apnea. 100%.
I don't even know what that means. And if that means
it means you're like always tired and like...
Is that what that means?
Yeah, and like you freaking sleep horrible.
You think I sleep bad and that's why I'm always tired?
Probably, yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
Yes, you probably should go to the doctor because they got crap they can give you.
I do wake up with... I do have bloody noses all the time when I sleep.
That's just because you don't drink enough water.
Dude, I drink so much water that when I don't drink a crap ton of water, I'm super dehydrated.
Yeah.
It's a real issue.
Yeah.
But when I was talking about politics earlier, I was saying whoever the worst... Like, I'm not going to vote, right?
Why?
Check this out. This is why, okay? I'm a religious person, right? And part of being a religious person, specifically a Christian, is Christ coming back to earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you just get all uninterested when I started bringing religion up?
I'm not interested. I was uncomfortable.
No, I was thinking. I'm always hunched over during these podcasts like this. I don't want to get a hunchback, you know, like that girl you like at Twilly Walmart.
Twilla.
No, I want... So, pretty much before Jesus comes, right, the world is supposed to get terrible, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I love right now having a president that's, like, trying to economically, like, fix us so I can, like, be able to afford a house and raise children and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm hoping, like, we got, like, maybe 2-3 presidents in a row that are, like, good for the economy, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, gas is cheaper, homes are cheaper. I could buy a house and then, raise kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I want just the worst presidents we possibly can have, right? Like, so, like, whoever's, like, almost seems, like, stupid. You know what I mean? Like...
Kanye?
Yeah, like Kamala Harris is a freaking idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I would have loved her to be a president in like a couple of years, you know? Once I'm like settled down, you know what I mean, and retired and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Because once the world goes to crap, that's when Jesus will come. So I want the worst candidate so that the world can get terrible, you know what I mean? We could suffer for a little bit, you know? Freaking countless civilizations have suffered, you know, but they always make it through. And we're in the latter days, you know, so that just means pretty much we're going to have like one more big suffering and then Jesus will be here. And then we'll have 1,000 years of peace, you know, which will be awesome. And then after the 1,000 years of peace, the devil will be released back onto the earth with all of his followers and we're going to have a freaking brawl, dude. And it's going to be awesome.
I'm a teabag on that O.
Dude.
I'm a teabag.
It's going to be so funny. We're going to be fighting side by side with like Roman soldiers, you know. And the Roman soldiers are going to be all like, okay, not Roman soldiers, but you know what I mean. Like, well, probably, because if they probably got talked to, like, after they died or whatever, you know, by, like, dead people, you know, dead followers.
What are you saying right now?
I'm going, like, deep doctrine right now.
You think we're going to war?
I know we are.
It's going to be a war of words.
No, I think it's going to be a battle. Well, I want it to be a battle.
Well, yeah, before Christ comes, it's going to be, we're going to literally be going to war.
No.
With the earth.
No.
Yes.
No.
Read Revelation.
Okay, check this out. And I kind of spin things that I read. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like how I think Yellowstone's going to erupt. Like in the midst of like all this like nuclear warfare that's going to happen.
We're all just going to die.
No, I think it's going to erupt because Yellowstone's going to kill a bunch of people, right? Mm-hmm. But I think once it erupts, Jesus is going to show up again, and he's going to stop it. Like he's going to like almost like a reverse time in a way, you know, like a movie or something.
Yeah.
And then everybody's going to like see that and be like, oh my gosh, Jesus is back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to think like, how is Jesus going to come back? Like everyone has to be like, oh my gosh, that's Jesus, because he could just come from the sky, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like there'd still be disbelievers, you know? So what can a person do is literally do like a superpower thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And be like, stop the world destruction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very obvious.
Like, that's not doctor. Like, we don't know how he's going to show up, when he's going to show up, but that's just my opinion on what's going to happen.
Yeah, it'll be very obvious when he actually shows up.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And I think it's going to happen while we're alive.
It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, the time before it is going to be pretty scary. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are going to lose faith within that time. Because they're like, holy crap, like it's horrible, like where is he? Why is he allowing these things to happen? Mm-hmm. And then when you think it can't get any worse, boom.
I got a question for you.
He's going to show up.
I got a doctrine question for you. Mm-hmm. We haven't really gotten really religious in our podcast recently.
No, I think this is the first time.
But let's do it. So when Jesus was on the cross, right?
Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
No, a little bit after that, Heavenly Father had to leave the presence of Jesus while he was on the cross, right? Mm-hmm. Only for a little bit, right? Because Jesus had to experience everything a human would experience, right?
Yeah.
And so Heavenly Father had to leave. Mm-hmm. It literally says in the scriptures, he turned around, like he looked away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God looked away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jesus is like, I don't want to butcher this, right? Because it's a very sacred doctrine. But like Jesus is like, almost like, why? But like not why, but like where are you right now, God? He was like asking like where are you? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This makes like I had the perfect saying in my head, and then once I started talking.
There's a couple ways that you can look at that. One way is Christ had to feel and go through every...
Can you scoot over a bit? I don't know if you're in frame.
He had to go through every feeling and every temptation and every sin and everything, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe in that moment, he needed to feel alone, like how a lot of humans do. Yeah. You know, they feel alone. They feel, they feel like there's no God, there's no one that loves them. Mm-hmm. And then on the other hand, God has emotions. Like
he's a human being. He's a perfected being.
Yeah, he has emotions. So like the way I think about it is like in a literal father's perspective. Like he didn't want to watch as Christ was literally getting crucified in like a extremely horrific way.
The most horrific way, literally feeling every pain possible.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's a couple of ways that you could look at it, but I think those are the two main ways that I think of it.
You think it's weird how every time you see a picture of Jesus on the cross, he like barely has any blood on him, but like. If he felt everything a human being would have possibly felt, he would have gone through Ebola. And Ebola. You remember Ebola
from Africa?
Yeah, in Ebola you bled from all of your orifices. So like, Jesus would have bled out of his eyeballs, his nose, his mouth, his ears, his anus, stuff. You know what I mean? But like you don't really see that stuff, and I understand why you don't see that stuff because that's like, almost in a way that would like, the way freaking horror movies and stuff have shown, that would almost look demonic, even though it's not because it's technically what happened.
Yeah, fun fact: Catholics, in their imagery of Christ on the cross, the more blood, the better. Yeah. It's like the more blood, it's like that's how they like feel the sacrifice and like the love. Yeah. It's like the more blood.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Dude, let's talk about the opposite. Let's talk about freaking devil worshippers, right? I think it's so freaking funny, right? Because their whole thing is like the opposite of Christianity, right? So like they did the cross upside down, right? But what they don't understand is there was literally an apostle of Jesus Christ who was going to get hung on the cross, and he said, "No, I don't want to get hung like the Savior did." And so they flipped it upside down. So they're literally not even using this, like, that's upside down cross is not like a bad sign. You know what I mean? It's literally a sign of respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just horror movies that, like, you know what I mean? And then, like, there's like a specific like star design that people think is like demonic, but it's like it's on ancient temples. You know what I mean? And it's on the Salt Lake Temple.
Really?
Yeah. I remember when I was on my mission, somebody asked me, it's like, why do you have a demonic star on your temple? And then he showed me a picture of it, and I was like, what the heck?
Is it real?
Yeah, no. And then I Googled it, and it's not a demonic star. It's an ancient religious symbol that the devil worshippers decided this is our logo now. Like you can see the star I'm talking about, right, in your head?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, that's literally a sign of good, not of evil. But devil worshippers made it a sign of.
Interesting.
Which is another thing. Like, but like you watch a horror movie with like upside down crosses and the other stuff, and it's scary. You know what I mean? That evokes like a bad feeling in you, right? But it's all just point of view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like how I said a bloody Christ would look almost demonic, but like you said, for Catholics, the more bloody Christ is, the better, because it's realistic.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
I mean, that's literally the devil's plan. Like, he confuses things.
Yeah.
He's the best liar. So he's able to convince people that, you know, these actual good things are bad.
Yeah.
That's his main
goal is to
lead people in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But
I like talking religion.
I do too.
I got a crap ton more stuff to talk about, but let's see how long.
I bet we're already over 30 minutes.
You think so?
Probably.
Yeah, we've been talking for 42 minutes.
Yeah, we should probably.
I'm thinking we're probably good specifically for this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we had some good conversations today.
Yeah.
You know, talked about nose jobs, talked about Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But, hey guys, we appreciate you guys viewing. And if you're watching this, probably we will have our podcast uploaded on all the podcast forums. So we'll have all of our backlog of our podcasts uploaded there as well. So it's really exciting, big stuff. So we're going to be starting to clip all over TikTok so that hopefully we'll get more discovery. And if you're watching this podcast and you enjoyed us, we're brothers, you know. We'll upload these podcasts every Monday for you guys and for us, you know. Because, Mondays suck, but... let's start the week off strong. Yeah, let's start the week off strong. So, but yeah, tell your friends about us. We'll be on every podcast platform, and if we're not right now, give us like a week, and we'll be up. I promise. It costs like $10 a month, so we're net negative as a company, I guess. It's money, but it's all right company,
Okay. It's Monday, but it's okay.
It's money, because it used to be it's money, but it's all right, and then we changed
it. Yeah.
Yeah, to it's money, but it's okay. But yeah, I'm excited for this podcast. This podcast makes me happy because we both work like opposite schedules. So like he starts work when I get off, so we don't like really see each other all that often except for our days off.
Yeah.
So when we record the podcast, I just stay up late until Nathan gets home from work. That's why he's in his Pepsi outfit all the time. In these podcasts, because we literally record right when he gets home.
Yeah.
Because I got to go to bed. But yeah, so we're grinding. Grind with us. Grind on me. That's a good song. You know that song?
Yeah.
I think that's by Omarion.
I have no idea.
I actually have no idea. But I'm gonna stop rambling. You got any final words to say to the people?
You're loved.
Yes.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
We're going through this same crap as you. Working 9 to 5s.
Yep.
Going to school.
Yep.
We're doing it too.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're still here, which we'd appreciate.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if you're still here and you got all the way to the back, just to prove you made it all the way back here, in the comment section of the YouTube video, comment your race. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so we know, just you know what I mean. So, and if you're from Utah, again, hit us up. You know.
Do some collabs.
Yeah, let's make some YouTube videos.
Doesn't have to be a podcast either. Like
yeah, like Nathan makes gaming videos, and I make music, gaming, comedy, all sorts of stuff.
Word.
But yeah, appreciate you guys.
Peace.